The restaurant buzzed with soft chatter, polished glasses, and the warm glow of amber lights as Alex Carter, the city's most reserved young CEO, sat alone at a corner table. Tonight was supposed to be a blind date arranged by his board members, a desperate attempt to pull him out of the lonely routine he had buried himself in. But as the minutes dragged on and his phone lit up with a final message, something came up. "Can't make it," he exhaled, defeated. He wasn't disappointed because he knew her, he was disappointed because once again, life had handed him an empty seat right across from him. He tried to pretend the cancellation didn't bother him. He politely waved the waiter away, not ready to order. The empty chair across from him felt heavier than all the files back at his office. It reminded him that success didn't fill silence. As the restaurant grew busier, he watched couples chatting, laughing, clinking their glasses together. He felt like an observer of a world he didn't belong to, yet desperately wished he did. He adjusted his cufflinks, trying to look less like a man who had been stood up. The waiter approached again, whispering apologetically, "Sir, it's a full house tonight. Just checking if the other guest will join soon." Alex forced a smile. "No, she's not coming." The waiter nodded sympathetically before hurrying away. Alex picked up the menu, not because he wanted to order, but because he needed something to hold onto, something that didn't remind him of his own solitude. He wondered how many more nights he would spend like this, surrounded by people yet feeling invisible. Then, as he set the menu down, he heard a soft, breathless voice beside him. "Excuse me, sir." He looked up to see a woman standing there, flushed with embarrassment, her hands gently resting on a little boy's shoulders. She wore simple clothes, her hair tied back, and her eyes carried the tired glow only single parents seem to possess. "I'm so sorry," she continued. "The restaurant is full. My son is exhausted from waiting. Can we sit here? At least just until someone else gets up." Alex blinked, taken aback by the sudden request. He wasn't used to strangers approaching him, let alone asking for a seat at his table. The little boy looked up at him with hopeful eyes, clutching a small toy car. Alex hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Of course," he said softly. "Please." The relief on the woman's face was immediate. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'm Elena, and this is Noah." Alex offered a polite smile, unsure how to act around someone who didn't know or care who he was. Noah climbed into the chair with excitement, placing his toy car on the table as if marking territory. Elena gently brushed his hair back, apologizing again for disturbing Alex's evening. "You're not disturbing me," Alex said truthfully. "I was just waiting for someone who didn't show up." Her eyes softened, understanding more than he expected. "That happens," she said quietly. "Life doesn't always run on schedule." There was something comforting in the way she said it, like she knew that feeling too well. As they settled in, Alex watched how Elena interacted with her son, patient, gentle, and full of warmth despite the exhaustion in her posture. Noah giggled while spinning his toy car, accidentally letting it slide across the table toward Alex. Alex caught it with surprising reflexes. "Nice car," he said. Noah grinned. "It's my favorite. It goes super fast." Alex smiled, feeling something soften inside him, something he hadn't felt in years. It was strange how a child's innocence could disarm even the most guarded adult. The waiter returned, now confused to see the table occupied by 3 instead of 2. "Ah, your guests arrived?" he asked. Alex didn't bother explaining. "We'll all order together," he said, surprising himself. Elena tried to protest, saying she and Noah would just order something small, but Alex insisted. "You're helping me make good use of this table," he joked lightly. She laughed, a genuine sound that felt refreshing in a place filled with rehearsed politeness. Their meals arrived, and the table transformed from a lonely corner to a lively trio. Alex listened as Noah talked about school, superheroes, and how he wanted to become an astronaut. Elena spoke softly, sharing pieces of her life, how she worked 2 jobs, how Noah's father wasn't around, and how nights like these were rare luxuries. Alex found himself leaning in, engaged in every word. He wasn't just hearing her story, he was feeling it. Between bites, Elena asked, "So what do you do, Alex?" For once, he didn't announce his title with pride or formality. "I work in management," he said, keeping it vague. He didn't want her to treat him any differently. She nodded casually, unaware she was sitting with one of the most influential men in the city. It felt strangely liberating for him, like he could breathe without the weight of expectations. Noah eventually grew sleepy, resting his head against Alina's arm. She rubbed his back gently, whispering, "Just a few more minutes, buddy." Alex watched the scene with admiration. He had met many powerful people, but none had the strength she carried quietly. Single parenthood wasn't glamorous, but it demanded more resilience than any corporate boardroom. He wondered how many people overlooked that kind of strength every day. As the evening carried on, Alex found himself forgetting the original purpose of his night. The loneliness that had gnawed at him earlier was replaced by an unfamiliar warmth. He didn't know how long they talked. It could have been minutes or hours. The restaurant's noise dimmed around them until it felt like they were the only three people in the room. When the check arrived, Elena reached for her bag. "Please," she said firmly. "We'll pay our share." Alex shook his head. "Tonight was better because of you too. Let me." She hesitated, then nodded with a soft smile. "Thank you, truly. People aren't usually this kind." Alex shrugged lightly. Maybe people just need the right reason. As they prepared to leave, Noah hugged his toy car and waved at Alex. "Thank you, mister. This was fun." Elena extended her hand. "I'm glad we crossed paths," she said sincerely. "You turned our stressful night into something special." Alex shook her hand gently, feeling warmth linger longer than expected. "It goes both ways," he replied. "This seat wasn't meant to stay empty tonight." They walked away, hand in hand, disappearing into the soft glow of the evening outside. Alex remained seated for a moment, absorbing what had just happened. His blind date had cancelled, yet destiny had offered him something far more meaningful, a reminder that connection sometimes appears in the most unexpected forms. And for the first time in a long time, he left the restaurant not lonely, but hopeful. Subscribe to this channel and like it, thank you.